Just bother him. Watch his shots. Back take. Stay on. Stay on. Work it. Work that back take. Blade.
Yep.
Blade. Give it to him.
Yep.
Stay up. Keep going. Keep going.
There you go.
Stand up. Stand up, Mike. Stand up, Mike. Stand up, Mike.
Oh, it's unrealistic, right? That's unrealistic. Why are we grappling? Why didn't I just create distance? Why are we wearing headgear? Why am I not using a real knife? Like, people make such a huge deal about realistic versus unrealistic training methods. And I kind of get what they are pretending to mean, but I often find it's just people using that as an excuse to not train at all.
All right, guys, listen up. So what we're doing is we are sparring the reverse grip knife jab. It's not a fight. We're isolating this with as much pressure as possible. No other variables. Hit. Don't get hit. We're trying to not clinch. All right? Don't take one to get one. Don't exchange. It's not a boxing match. It's a knife. We're isolating this technique in sparring. Okay? All right. 90 seconds on the clock.
It's not gay if you're in different areas because we're training.
Ready? Go! In and out. Good. Take one to get one.
Is your white cat or is it worried about the boxing?
Nice, good.
I just got back from a pretty hard training session. It was Edge Weapons Overview with Craig Douglas, aka South Narc. It's my second time through the course, and it's really tough. It's hard, it hurts, but it's the best training literally on the planet. It's not just the best knife course I've ever been to. His courses are just the best courses, period, I've ever been to. Edge Weapons Overview, as a course, it's all right there in the name. It's an overview of almost every aspect of one of these types of encounters. The initial contact that you make with the person, like how to talk to them, how to position your body, how to deal with more than one person. Craig gives one of, if not the best, crash course in stand-up grappling, aka the clinch, which is going to be one of the problems you have to solve in self-defense. I'm going to show you a couple of the more serious full contact drills, which Craig calls them evolutions. But I'm gonna go back and break down that first one. I decided that one of the things I was gonna do better this time around was I was gonna not let people encroach, and I was gonna get that first strike, even if it wasn't quite knife time yet. And I also wanted to make sure that I didn't draw from any bad positions. So I'm using the things that Craig has taught me. I'm also using things that I learned in the KCC program. And I want to make sure that I have the best possible position before I draw that knife and give up one of my hands. So I'm trying to get to his back and get as much to his back as I can so I can feel confident that I can draw without giving up position. Now, he goes for a headlock, which makes me fall. But then, you know, I start giving him the business up the gooch.
Mike, stand up, Mike, stand up, Mike. Stand up, Mike, stand up, Mike. Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going, stand up.
What Craig was trying to get me to do was to do my business and then stand up. In the past at his courses, I've had trouble getting to my feet. I've worked really hard this year on some of my stand-up grappling and some of my wrestling. So, but I still got caught up in the moment of just trying to. One of the big problems with high quality training like this, if you're not a devoted student or a teacher of the subject matter yourself, it's hard to understand why exactly we're doing any of the things we're doing and what value it holds. For example, when Craig Douglas gives each guy a training knife, puts headgear on them, and says, okay, you can only stab each other in the face, you're not allowed to grab each other or wrestle, try to hit and don't get hit. No, that's not realistic in that that's not how fights happen, but what we're practicing a skill. We're sparring. We're both getting reps of a physical skill with a little bit of pressure, a little bit of nerves, a little bit of, feedback, like it hurts to get hit. So you're motivated to hit and not get hit, which, hey, what's that sound like? Sort of sounds like sparring. Maybe you think with the helmets and the face shields that it doesn't really hurt. Okay, well it does, but what if we take away the headgear?
There's no head protraction.
Only 45 seconds.
These are soft. These are soft trainers. They have mouthpieces in and eyewear. I'm selecting them to model this to show you what you could do. Okay, this is not something I make anybody do. And I'll also let them take the grip of their choice. Okay, I believe 45 seconds. Ready? Go!
Hopefully getting back up today.
There you go.
Nice.
10 seconds. Nice. Nice. Hey! Right there.
Yikes, Craig! I guess I'm flattered that you chose me. Oh, well, they're foam training knives. Okay. Okay. And then when they miss, guess what's going in there? That is basically bare knuckle boxing. That's essentially what we did for a few seconds. But it enforced or impressed upon people the urgency with which you need to defend and move and protect yourself against these strikes, and also the benefits that could be had by being able to land these strikes. Skills that you need to practice. And here we are again. If you thought you can only practice skills realistically, that means you probably can't practice them. The final evolution at these courses is a 2-on-1, but it's not just a 2-on-1 free-for-all. He wants to see you work out specific problems. 1, disentangling yourself in a clinch. 2, maneuvering these guys to protect yourself while you try to stay on your feet and not get re-entangled. In this last drill, I'm pitted against some friends of mine, Jeff and Vinny. Now, outside the context of this drill, we are good buds. Jeff and I have trained together on numerous occasions. And Vinny, you might remember as the guy who did this to me. Yeah, so you can imagine that he's one of my favorite people. But he is one of my favorite training partners. He's got my number when it comes to wrestling. So in this case, I'm glad that they gave him the gloves and they told Jeff that he had to grapple me. So between Jeff's lazy overhook here and the fact that he goes for his knife a little too early, I'm able to get to the back and kind of lock that position up as much as I can to get my own draw and land the first hit. Now from here, I can use my existing skill set. My wrestling is far weaker than my striking, but both these guys know that I can hit them hard enough to hurt them, even through the headgear. So that's going to give me opportunities to move and keep them stacked up and make them hesitate to commit to an attack. And I also have my defensive, capabilities there. But, they land some good shots too, but this went far better than it has for me in the past. If you're at all serious about learning to defend yourself against somebody with a knife, or learning to defend yourself with a knife, Edge Weapons Overview by Craig Douglas is pretty much required. Even the other guys in the industry that teach similar stuff would tell you that you also need to attend a Craig Douglas class. He also has a course very similar that involves firearms called ECQC. I did a video on that. I'll link that up there. Craig's courses are tough. They're difficult to get through. They are challenging physically, mentally, emotionally. Starting to sound pretty realistic, but I get it. I get it. Training is hard. Sometimes I wish I could just get on social media and tell people I was too deadly to spar.